Can you just listen to my video today? It won't take long. It's just 10 minutes of your life. Have you noticed how I used just in this couple of sentences? Seems harmless, right? Just a simple addition to soften the request, to make it seem light and manageable. Every word we use has an impact, shaping our relationships, our behaviors, the impression we make, and the results we get. Welcome to the first out of a series of videos that I will make on the power of words and how you can transform your language to have the impact that you aim at. Today, we're not just discussing the misuse of just. We're exploring a framework on the power of words, the intent and impact of using just, and most importantly, discovering what you can say instead to foster a more positive, respectful, and empowering work or home environment. Let's just get into it. Hey, my name is Greg. I'm a master coach helping people, teams, and organizations to know themselves, design their future self, and become their future selves. I'm here to help you live a life where you have control. To start, I would like to give you a model that will help you understand how your words impact others. This model has 4 key phases. One is intent, then you have situation, then you have behavior, and finally, impact. First, we have intent. This is the why behind our words, the purpose or goal driving our communication. It's where everything begins, and it is mostly invisible to others. It's all in your head. Next is the situation, the where and when. This includes the context of your conversation, the environment, and the dynamics at play. The same words can carry different meanings in different settings. Like giving feedback to someone in an individual meeting with them, or doing it with other people around. Very different. Then we move to behavior, the actual act of communicating. This is where your words come to life, carrying our intent through the air. And it is a mix of the words you use, but also non-verbal clues. This is where picking the right words, tone, and facial expression counts. This is where intent meets reality, often with very unpredictable outcomes. Our words can end up doing what we intended them to do, or not at all. And a simple phrase like, "Can you just do this for me?" goes through all those phases. Let's talk about the intent and impact behind using the word just in conversations with others, particularly when we make a request to someone. Often we say just, hoping to add a task without overwhelming someone, suggesting it's a minor addition to their workload. Here, the use of just might make team members or the other person feel their existing workload is underestimated or trivialized, leading to frustration or stress if they are already stretched thin. Just might be used to make a request seem less demanding, as if it's a small favor instead of a big ask. This can be perceived as manipulative or passive-aggressive, especially if the task is not as minor as suggested. And that affects trust and openness in the communication between people. Sometimes just is a way to simplify what we are asking for, either because we underestimate the task's complexity or we want to avoid discouraging the listener. There is a risk to underestimate the effort required, potentially setting unrealistic expectations and leading to disappointment or sense of inadequacy for the person receiving it. At times, just is employed to prompt quick action, implying that because the task is just this, it can be done swiftly. And that happens when people, bosses, or the other better half are frustrated that a task has not been done yet. This may pressure people to prioritize this task over others, causing disruption in their workflow or leading to burnout if such a requests are very frequent. You like this video so far? Then you know what to do. Also subscribe and put the notifications on if you want to receive content like this every week. And check out in the description other links and videos about the concept of power of words if you want to learn more about this. Let's look at how you can craft situations that will help you achieve your intent without a negative impact. The first step is awareness. Recognizing the scenarios where just creeps into your dialogues will allow you to pause and reconsider your word choice. That is also recognizing when it is done to you. Usually you will get a negative feeling about what is being said to you, whether it is irritation, frustration, or even anger. Instead of saying, "Can you just handle this task?" consider the implication of your request. A more effective approach might be, "This task requires specific expertise and I believe you're the best fit. Can we discuss how it might fit into your current workload?" And you can turn this around when you are on the receiving end of just. kindly assert the task complexity or time requirement. Like, I understand the importance of this task. Given its complexity, it might require more time than you can anticipate. Can we discuss prioritizing it appropriately? In situations where time sensitivity is implied with just, clarity is key. Rather than minimizing the effort involved, acknowledge it upfront. For example, this task is urgent and might require rearranging priorities. Let's explore how we can address this together. If you're on the receiving end, ask for clear priorities. I'm currently working on this project. Could we clarify how this urgent task fits with my current priorities? And encourage open dialogue. Creating an environment where team members feel comfortable discussing the reality of their workload fosters mutual respect and understanding. It's about replacing just with joint effort. Much more about how to create an open atmosphere in your team right here. Also, reflect on the impact of your words. By considering how your requests affect others, you contribute to a culture of empathy and collaboration, moving away from minimizing language. Adjusting our behavior in communication involves not only changing our words, but also how we present our request or information. In other words, it's about requesting with a more precise and respectful language. Instead of minimizing tasks with just, describe what you need clearly. Could you take on the task of preparing the report? It's really important for the upcoming client meeting. Also, recognize the effort involved upfront. Say, I understand this requires significant effort, and I appreciate the effort you're going to put into this. Instead of implying simplicity with just, express gratitude. For example, thank you for taking the time to handle this. Your expertise for this task is really important and will make the difference. And finally, offer your assistance or support. Say, if you need help or resources to complete this, please let me know. I'm here to support you. Here are a few ways that you can use to help get rid of just in the workplace or at home. Use a system of daily active questions from Marshall Goldsmith to help the behavior change. Rate yourself every day from 1 to 10 on the following question. Did I do the best today to avoid using just in my communication with others? The fact of rating yourself every day will help you having this feeling that you need to remember it and you need to improve it, and you will see the improvement over weeks. Or another exercise is for 1 week, jot down instances where you use just and the context. Reflect on alternative phrasings and their potential impact if you do it differently. You can also pair up with a colleague or a friend to practice scenarios where just might come in. Then you can focus on rephrasing requests or statements without minimizing the effort involved. Make it a game at your team meetings. Pick a charity at the beginning of the meeting, and every time somebody is using just in the context that we discussed today, they have to put $1 or €1 in a jar for the charity, or whatever other currency that you use in your country. If you're on the receiving end, there is one tactic that I've used throughout my career. It is simply to ignore some requests. It happened to me many times that these just requests were not really thought through and they're just forgotten by the person who asked them. And my staff did that with me too, which is fair enough. I was not always perfect with my requests. By the way, all of this is also valid for family or with a friend environment. You can apply exactly the same type of exercises and the same type of formulation to those moments. So in summary, let's commit to using our words to build up, not minimize, and to foster an environment of respect and understanding. A very inspiring quote from the Persian poet Rumi teaches us about the power of words. Raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. A lot of what we talked about today was linked to the concept of prioritization to ensure that a person or a team does what matters at the right time. And much more about prioritization in this video here.